in your character's voice, could you say, "Sir, this is a Wendy's"?
Is he working there? That's his summer job when he's not slaying demons. Sir, this is a Wendy's. There you go. Thank you.
Alex told me I had to sit in the middle.
She has to sit in the middle.
Why? That's so...
She's a star.
He's very demanding.
Okay, no, that's fair. That's fair.
Did you know Alex is a diva?
What? Wow.
He gets what he wants.
That's how we're starting it off
You
like
don't
that?
have 7 water bottles at my table, I will flip the table onto incoming fans.
That's
Yep.
gangster.
Only yellow M&Ms for Zenitsu.
Only yellow M&Ms, please.
Do y'all have yellow M&Ms? Hurry up. Somebody go get some. We need it. Stat. No, welcome, welcome. Definitely. Are you guys having a great weekend?
Yes, it's been awesome. I am very surprised at like the amount of stuff here.
What?
Yeah, on my break, I was like running around the floor buying merch.
Oh,
like,
you were
they just-
shopping.
Oh yeah. I got some really cool artwork. I got a Metroid like neon sign.
Oh, that's dope.
And now I have to stop because I have no more room in my luggage.
Did you see that giant Eggman?
No.
It was a very round Eggman. He's awesome from Sonic.
Did you get
Anyways,
that?
hello, Ohio!
Hey!
Woo! Demon
Listen,
Slayer.
you don't have to worry about, like, packing stuff to go home. We have a FedEx just down the road. You can ship it. It's
Perfect.
fine,
So
it's
I'll
fine.
keep wasting money on.
Yeah, we got... Not wasting. You're so happy. We're so happy for you to be here.
true.
So, Abby, you already said that this is your first time to Columbus, so definitely welcome. Make some noise. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Alex, what about you? Have you been to Columbus before?
I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I do not remember.
That is a busy man right there.
I have a terrible memory, and we've been doing these shows. I think we started back up like 2 years ago. We started traveling again.
Probably.
And
something
for the
like
first
that.
time, I was like, oh my God, I'm in a new city every week. And now I'm like, where am I?
That happens. That happens.
I was in Texas, and I was like, I'm so happy to be here in Dallas. And the crowd was like, you're not in Dallas. And I was like, oh, my bad.
I'm bad. Well, where in Texas am I? Like, help me out.
Exactly.
They asked me, they were like, oh, were you at Collecticon? And I was like, was I?
Oh, maybe if you've seen me before, hello again. But if not, I'm just excited to be in Ohio for the first time.
Hey!
Woo!
That's how it's got to be sometimes. I know. I love it. I love it. Okay, so I kind of want to get into talking about your career, but I know you guys are going to want to ask the Demon Slayer question, so I'm not even going to do that to you. I am going to invite you to line up. There's a microphone right over here, so if you want, you can. Wow, they didn't waste any time whatsoever.
You know what's up.
I didn't even finish the phrase. So we're going to chat for just a couple of minutes. I hope y'all got strong legs. But when it comes to entertainment, specifically, you guys kind of have backgrounds in Eastern Asia. You lived there for a little while. You moved there or moved from there. So I got to know, what is the culture of comics and anime like in Vietnam and your puppetry? We got to get on that. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. So if you don't mind, what's that like in Vietnam?
So I grew up around Singapore, Vietnam, Taiwan. I was all over Asia when I was a kid, and we had kind of this unspoken rule where Japan at the time wasn't distributing anime officially. And I'm sure American anime fans know that feeling, where you just have to get like bootleg anime CDs and DVDs online. And you just like, they would have like these terrible subtitles. You wouldn't know what the heck is going on, but you're like, all right, it's cool, I'm watching it. So it was a lot of that in Asia at the time. If you weren't in Japan, it was like everything was bootleg, but at least you were watching it.
You were getting something. You were getting something.
yeah.
Did you have any favorites growing up?
Dragon Ball was one of the first ones I ever saw.
You got some Dragon Ball fans in here? Okay, just checking.
Dragon Ball. I had like a little bootleg box set of Pokemon.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah. What else? I think Crayon Shin-Chan, if those who know what that is.
Ooh.
Kind of a deep cut, but I love that series.
Nice.
But those were kind of like my starting few. So
I love it. I love it. I love it. Abby?
Yeah, so I lived in Japan for 6 years. After I had studied theater in college, I wanted to travel, so that's why I moved to Japan on the JET program. So initially, yes, I was doing a teaching exchange program. So I was teaching English as an assistant language teacher in Japan for 2 years in Akita, which is in the north of Japan. And then I was like, oh yeah, I wanted to be an actor, so I should probably get back to that. So I moved to Tokyo to try to get into acting and music there. And I was doing children's shows, as you mentioned, puppet shows.
That's right.
They were not really puppet shows. They were shows that had puppets in them.
Okay, fair,
And
fair,
I got to puppet some of the characters, and I got to
You were like
voice some of
Japanese
those
Kermit, right?
characters. Super. What? Huh?
Japanese Kermit?
Japanese Kermit. We had like there was a rabbit and there was a frog. But his name was Froggy.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Kurumito.
No. We didn't have the rights to that. They were really cute shows. But anyway, so one thing I noticed living in Tokyo was the range of different people who were reading manga. It's like I took the train everywhere, of course, it's Tokyo. And you see like everyone from like little kids to businessmen like coming home from work reading manga on the train. And I was just like, huh, that's really cool. I saw like, you know, older men and women reading, younger kids, everybody, everywhere and in between. So
No stigma.
What was the wildest combination you ever saw? Like, did you ever see a grandmother reading Berserk on the train?
No, I have
grandma.
seen grandmas reading manga, but sometimes like people will cover their manga with paper because they don't want you to know what they're reading.
Wow.
Not meaning that it's something
explicit,
explicit,
not necessarily.
but it could be.
Yeah,
You never know.
yeah. Do you have any favorite mangas that you've read?
Ooh, favorite manga.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. So way back when I first started reading manga, I read this series called Kare Kano.
Okay.
It was like a kind of a love story.
Love
It was
that.
super cute. That was like maybe my first favorite manga.
Okay.
These days, I feel like I'm reading.
The correct answer is Demon Slayer.
Oh yeah, Demon Slayer for sure, of course.
We were gonna get to that. Yeah, yeah.
Aside from Demon Slayer, I've been reading a lot of Junji Ito.
Oh, nice.
I really like Uzumaki.
Yes.
It's one of those manga that has kind of haunted me.
That's what it's for.
Yeah. Like the imagery is just so intense, and I don't want to spoil anything about the story, but like there are some moments in there that like every once in a while, like every time I see a snail, I'm like, oh no.
It's coming to get me.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that. I like
Those
that.
are a couple
Okay.
favorites.
Alex, what do you?
Kimetsu no Yaiba is my favorite manga, Demon Slayer. Jokes aside, Demon Slayer is a great manga, but I think one of my favorite of all time is any works by Takehiko Inoue, who is the author of Slam Dunk. And he
Right.
also wrote Vagabond, which is one of my favorites. And then my favorite of all time, it's called Real. Real. It's about wheelchair basketball. And I was like, wow. Fascinating story.
awesome.
And it made me sob like a little baby. So anything that can do that to me, I'm like, okay, that's my favorite.
I need Vagabond to come back. Like
Me too.
the hiatus that it's been on is just it's tearing my heart up. So
He's like, I'm too tired, man.
What genre is Vagabond?
Vagabond, I would say it's kind of like it borders on historical action, and then also just like I was gonna say slice of life, but that's more cutesy. I was like, oh, that's a man going through some stuff. He's sad. So if you are into depressed older men going through things, read Vagabond.
It's absolutely true. No, absolutely true. Okay, so getting into being entertainers yourself, how did you kind of make that jump into wanting to act and go specifically into voice acting?
So I kind of always wanted to be an actor in some capacity.
Sure.
And I studied theater, so I had a background in stage acting. And I didn't know if I wanted to focus on camera stuff or theater or what. I was still trying to figure it out. So when I was in Tokyo, I got some opportunities to do different things. And one of those things was voiceover. And it just kind of like, I always kind of had it in the back because I'm a huge video game fan. I'm a cartoon animation fan.
You opened up a door right there.
Anime fan. So I always like would do, character voices or, it's just something I had in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
And so once I did a character voice for like a show, the puppet show that I was in, it kind of dawned on me that it's an actual job that like you can do and you can have. So that's when it really like, I was like, I'm focusing on voiceover. I really love doing it and I want to see if I can have some success.
I love that.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely
what
love that.
triggered me.
That's awesome.
I never really wanted to be an actor or anything like that.
What?
'Cause when I was younger, I was very shy and I didn't like public speaking. And I just wasn't really a fan of being out in public in general.
It's the wrong profession for you.
Right?
What
I
is
know,
it?
right? I have a bunch of fans come and they're like, are you sure this is a job for you? And I'm like, I guess so. But I always loved animation and anime and manga. And when I was a kid, I wanted to be an artist or an animator. And
Yeah.
I was working really hard at that for a while. And then I think when I turned like 15 or 16, it started to dawn on me that this is a really hard job. I was like, animation is hard. I don't want to do that anymore. What's next on that list? So I guess voice, I'll try that out. So I always wanted to be a part of anime and stuff, but I was like, well, if I can't sit there and draw because my back hurts, maybe I'll try the acting thing, see how that turns out. And
Have you
here
guys
we are.
seen Aleks draw?
We want to now.
He's really good.
No, I'm
Really
really.
No. We're gonna
Draws
ask for
little-
sketches from now on.
Yeah, the cute little Zenitsu face you draw on everyone's signature. People bring that to me and they're like, "Can you?" And I'm like, it's not
Not at
gonna
all.
look the same.
I should draw like a full portrait of Nezuko and be like, make sure you tell Abby to draw the exact same thing on those Funko Pops.
Please don't do that.
No,
I mean,
you just
I'll
charge
try,
extra.
but it's not gonna be pretty.
It's the effort that
Come on. Now, Aleks, I understand that entertainment, when you moved here to the States, that it helped you learn English as a new language. What sort of things were you watching that kind of unlocked those opportunities for you?
I was watching, like, obviously I was watching dubbed anime a lot.
Okay.
And like Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
One of the first dubbed series that it really caught my eye was like Naruto, Dragon Ball, stuff like that. But I also enjoyed American cartoons. Like, I don't know. I was always 10 years behind in terms of pop culture because everybody was like on the times and
Right.
I didn't have access to like direct cable and anything. So I was like watching old DVDs.
Yeah.
So I was watching like Courage the Cowardly Dog. When
Classic.
people were watching Adventure Time and stuff, I was rewatching the old Tom and Jerry stuff and the very first series of like Ben 10. That was my jam.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then like Johnny Bravo, stuff like that. And Ed, and Eddie. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. I love cartoons. And that's kind of what helped me learn to speak English because when you learn English in school, they don't really teach you about how other people talk.
Right.
And when you watch cartoons, they're like, hey, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. And then so there was a period where I just went to school and I was like, hey, everybody, what's going on? Bye.
Would you recommend anyone that wants to learn a second language that they use something like anime or what
Oh,
have you?
absolutely. I mean,
awesome.
now it's a really great tool because we actually have anime on streaming. Like, if you're interested in learning
Absolutely.
Japanese, it's a great like tool to pick up by ear to just watch more anime. And that way, you can also tell your parents, "I'm studying." And you're just watching anime. So
All the kids just wrote that down like, Okay, now Abby, you mentioned very quickly, and we're not gonna gloss over that you are a gamer. Is that?
I don't know if I call myself a
Oh,
gamer
now you
because
want to backtrack
well,
now.
because I like games. I like video games, but I'm not like as hardcore as I'm not like streaming and stuff.
she loves
But,
Minions for the 3DS.
I like no, the last video game. So right now I'm playing Minish Hat. Have you guys ever played that
Ooh.
game? I have this thing. It's like a Retroid Pocket, so it can
Yes.
play retro games on like the big screen.
Of course.
So I'm playing that right now. But I'm a huge Nintendo fan, and
Yes.
I grew up playing Metroid, Zelda games. You know, Ocarina of Time. I'm a huge fan of that. I also like Guitar Man for PlayStation 2. Anyone?
Yes. The
Ah,
one
one
person back there. Yeah, one
let's
back there.
go.
It's like such an amazing game, and nobody knows what it is. It's a music game, and it's so good. It's really hard to find now, though.
Okay, so I just want you to recognize what you just said. Your favorite game here is a deep cut game that not everyone knows about, but you're not a gamer. That's your.
not a gamer.
Okay, I just want to make sure you're holding on to that because that sounds like a gamer to me. Alex, do you like gaming? Are you?
Yeah, I played Snake on the Nokia phone. I was pretty good at Pac-Man when that was out.
You was holding on to that one. That was pretty good. Not the snake. That's
I try to enjoy a variety of video games because, you know, they're all very, nowadays especially, there's a huge and big opportunity for like really great storytelling in video games. So
course.
I really enjoy that. But also, I have a problem. So I love like third person, you know, action games, deep cut storytelling stuff.
Right.
But there are games that I do hate, like I hate battle royales, I don't like first person shooters, and I don't like being competitive. Those aren't my thing. But the game I put in over 2,000 hours over the last 3 years is Apex Legends.
wow.
Because, you know, as much as you hate shooting games or being competitive, it just feels so good when you get home from a long day of work and you just start like
destroying things.
destroying people
Yeah,
and
yeah.
start screaming at them. And it's worse when you start to lose because it's like gambling. And I'm like, ah, one more game. Just one more game. And then it's like 4 hours later, I'm on a losing streak. I'm more mad than when I first got on. I'm just standing there.
Wow. So do not game with him.
Yeah, exactly.
I got you. I got you. Well, listen, we've got some amazing fans here that have been patiently waiting for a chance to chat with you. So, hello, friend. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. I would just like to ask, what do you two like about your characters the most?
Ooh.
I like that when Nezuko is a human, she's so selfless in taking care of her family. She is like willing to, she's saying like, I don't need expensive kimonos, like you guys are more important, things like that that show how much she like really cares for her family. And then also that when she's a demon, she kicks butt.
Also,
fair.
when she protected Rokta.
I like that. I like that.
I always say that the one thing that people forget about Zenitsu is that I think he's the most realistic character in the show. Like, come on. Anybody in here look at me in the eyes and say that you wouldn't just turn around when you walk into a forest full of demons? Nobody would go forth. Did
Yeah,
you
you're
guys
right.
see what they do to regular human beings? You guys turn into like paste. I walk into that forest, I'm like, you know what? I should go home, actually. So I like that about him. But I also like that even though he gets really scared, when his friends need his help, he still tries to be there for them. So I think that's actually really brave, even though he pees his pants in the process. Thank you for your question. That was amazing.
Yeah,
Thank
that's a
you.
great one. Peeing your pants is a small price to pay for
Right.
helping out. I mean,
It's
I'm
a
just saying. Like,
sacrifice.
come on. Hello.
Hi. So I wanted to know what the most emotional scene you guys have recorded as your characters so far is.
Ooh, most emotional scene.
Are you guys all caught up on the show?
Yes.
No, wait.
not
If you're
gonna
not
spoil
caught
it.
up, you dared come to a Demon Slayer panel. The risk of spoilers was inherent, people.
I'm not gonna spoil it then. I'm just gonna say the latest episodes that come out towards the end of the latest arc, those were pretty emotional for me. Pretty emotional, yeah.
Were you talking like you cried emotional or?
You know what? I did cry, and it's funny because when I was recording this very intense moment, I was like tearing up in the
Right.
booth, and our director Steve he didn't even notice, and so he's just like I record this thing, and I'm like welling up with.
You're like
tears, and I'm
crying and shaking.
"Am I
He's like,
okay?"
all right, let's go to lunch.
he's like-
Ham meat tonight.
Basically, he's like, great, let's move on, moving on, and I'm like, yeah, okay.
Give me a second.
Let's move on. I'm fine. It's fine.
Amazing.
So that's,
Love it.
It was emotional.
Alex, what about you?
I feel like with the newer seasons of Demon Slayer, Zenitsu has kind of chilled out a bit. But I did enjoy a lot of the stuff from the first season. No, I've never cried in the booth, but I have gotten very close, and I tell this story every now and then. So when Mugen Train came out, Abby and I decided to rent out a theater because it was during the peak of COVID. So we rented out a small theater for us and our friends to go watch the movie. And we were sitting there, we were watching. Everybody's seen Mugen Train, right? At least
Yes.
that? Okay.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
So, at the end, there's a very emotional scene where Rengoku is sitting there. He's crying, probably taking his last breath. It cuts to Tanjiro. Tanjiro is in tears. Zenitsu is in tears. Inosuke is in tears. And it cuts back to Rengoku's face. And, like, I've never cried at a movie before. But here I was sitting, and the emotions were welling up inside me. And I started to feel it coming. And I was like... And then it cuts to a shot of the crow, his crow is flying across the sky, and it's a close-up of his face, and the crow has a tear coming out, and I was like, and that crow completely ruined it for me. I was about to like start breaking down crying, and then I saw the crow, and it's like, "Arr." And I'm like, no, come on. So that was the closest I've ever gotten to crying at the show, but it would have had me. It
was
would have
almost
had
there.
me.
It was almost
there.
Okay. All right. Great question.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello. Just go ahead and flip the mic down. There you go. There it is.
I was like, just jump every word. We'll catch you.
What do you think the most like
Take your time.
You got it. You got it.
scariest like
You can do it. You can do it.
Like the most scary cat one.
Why is he such a scaredy cat?
Like the most scary cat one.
Oh, the most scaredy cat moment.
Why are you the most? What is your most scaredy cat moment?
I don't know. I think it's definitely like there was an episode where they go up to the mountains and they meet the spider, and he's already afraid of spiders. I mean, that kind of freaked me out too. And then he turns around and he sees a little spider with a baby head, and he goes, "What am I even looking at?" So that was my favorite moment for sure. It was.
Make some noise today, y'all.
Thank you.
Because he was saying what we all felt. What are we looking at right now? Like, that is just terrifying.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Good question. Good moment.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Do you have a question?
Yeah.
What's your question?
What was your favorite line? And can you say, like, in the voice you say it?
What's your favorite line?
Favorite line in your voice.
Out of all of Nezuko's monologues,
And they are aplenty. Yes.
man, it's hard.
Yes.
My favorite line is probably
Grunt it.
Blood demon art. Exploding blood!
when we're fighting
Very
Louis
nice.
in the forest.
All right, and I tell every show I go to that you guys get one. So you only get one. So don't
Yeah,
ask
this is
me
it.
again for this.
Nobody asked for anything
Ready?
else.
Nezuko! There you go. That's your one. You get that one, all right?
That was amazing. That was amazing.
Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Appreciate it. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
My question is, if you were a Hashira, what would your breeding style be? But if you were a demon, what would your blood demon art be?
Oh.
Ooh. Does it have to be from the show, or can we make some
It doesn't have to if you don't want it to.
I've used this answer before. I feel like coffee breathing. Because let's be real, I'm not even alive without coffee in the morning.
Are
You
any
could have
of
helped
us?
me today. I thought you were gonna like drown the demon in coffee. They're like, oh, Nezuko, come.
Coffee breathing. Can I do I could do a blood demon coffee art too with like scalding
That's
hot
true.
coffee.
I thought you were saying latte art. Command latte art to come from you.
That's pretty good.
My breathing style, if I was a Hashira, would be, I look at you breathing, you're dead, goodbye. or I would, my blood demon art would be, I summon a train so you can take public transport home. To my enemy, I'm like, train, please leave. So that is my Mugen train, please leave. The cast of Demon Slayer will be dealing with you now. I will go home instead. Thank you for your question.
I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
What's your favorite upper rank demon? Mine is Coco Shiba.
Oh, he's picking the OP one.
That's right.
Yeah. I like Akaza a lot.
I was gonna say the same thing. I like Akaza because I really like his design.
Wait, I want to know why he's your favorite.
Yeah, why is he your favorite?
Have a-
Kokushibo.
Because he's Yoriichi's brother.
Ooh. Did you see
read.
the confidence though?
Oh.
I saw him come up here.
You didn't hear
What?
it. Shh.
Who is that anyways? What
Yeah,
are these
yeah,
Japanese names?
Yeah.
I only know Dan Brown Demon Slayer.
Read the manga.
Thank you for your question though.
Okay,
Hello.
I have two questions. Miss Nezuko, first question, how do you manage to not talk the whole time throughout all the things, okay? How do you manage? Ooh. Okay,
Impressive.
Mr. Zenitsu, have you ever played Stick Fighter? It's a really good game. I've got my anger out of it several different times. It's really good.
Have I ever played Stick Fighter?
It's just basically a game where you're like a bunch of little stick men.
She came up here in character. She's asking Nezuko like an in character question, and then she comes up and she's like, "Have you played the video game Stick Fighter?" Yes, I have. I've played Stick Fighter plenty of times.
Victory's mine.
But thank you. That's a fun question.
One more thing.
All right.
I still feel like this is cheat. Why did they kill off Rengoku the very first time we meet him?
It's because he was too popular.
Come on!
He would have sold all the merch.
Look at the passion.
Popularity!
They wanted to make you cry.
Exactly.
Unfair!
So sorry.
I call this a cheat on Rengoku's name.
They were going for the Oscar nomination. That's
was
why
real.
somebody
That's
has to
real.
die.
And also,
All right.
I love how the entire line just erupted with that question too.
Thank
They're
you
like,
for
I
your-
know, I was gonna ask
Why?
that. Thank you
and
so
also-
very much.
Little cat for
That's Cat Nezuko, everyone.
I love it. Hello.
I have 2 questions. So what was one of your favorite lines in episode 3, season 1?
Episode 3, season 1.
That's unique.
Really,
That's a very pinpointed
that's really
question.
specific. Am I in that one?
I don't know. I was gonna say I don't know if Nezuko's in that one. If I was in that one, my favorite line was like, "Wait, crows?" Because that's when he gets Chuntaro, and
Right.
it's not a crow. So that's what I think happened in episode 3, season 1.
My favorite line is,
Well, here's a fun fact. She actually plays Chuntaro, the little sparrow that I
Yeah.
have. So your favorite line could be. There you go.
that means
you.
get it
Good
together, Zenitsu.
Great question.
Thank you for your question.
For the last question, I wanted to ask you if you could be any character, who would you be?
Ooh.
Any character from Demon Slayer?
Yes.
That's a hard question.
Yeah.
I would be Nezuko. So I can show up to work.
I would not be Zenitsu.
I would go up and I'd go.
I would just be like one of the crows, so I don't have to deal with any of the drama.
Smart move. Yeah.
To avoid everything.
I love
Thank
it.
you for your question.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Can you shout out one of my two of my friends?
For sure. What are their names?
Evelyn and Blake.
Evelyn and who?
Evelyn and Blake.
Yeah.
Evelyn and Blake. What's up? We're in Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus,
Hello.
Ohio.
How come they're
Hi.
not here? What's going on? Should have brought them with you.
They get it. And the last thing is, if you could bring one demon or demon slayer back, who would it be?
If you could bring one back.
A demon?
Oh, demon slayer.
Oh my gosh, Daki.
Ah,
Didn't even
Yes. Yes.
that is a good answer.
Yeah.
Well, I would bring back the hand demon, the guy that's covered in hands, but I would want him to be a good guy. I want him to like work at like a sushi restaurant so he can use his many hands to serve more sushi.
Resurrect him to put him to work?
Exactly. That's like what he has to do. That's his penance. Yeah, yeah.
All right. There you go.
All right. Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello.
Hello. Who is your favorite character, but you can't pick yourself?
Favorite, not you though.
I like Inosuke because he's chaotic and wild and unpredictable and like a little scary, honestly. You never know what he's gonna do.
Good choice.
I like Tengen Uzui because he is cool and he has 3 wives, which is awesome.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
Hey, you wanted in character answers. Here I am.
One of them is his cousin.
What?
What?
I didn't know that part. I take it back.
Fun facts.
No spoilers. No spoilers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi. Hi.
Mr. Zenitsu, I was wondering if in your character's voice, could you say, "Sir, this is a Wendy's"?
Is he working there? That's his summer job when he's not slaying demons. Sir, this is a Wendy's. There you go. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
My question is, what was your funniest or most enjoyable part of the series?
Ooh.
Oh, that's a hard question. For our character or for like anything?
Anything.
For anything?
Is it easier if it's anything or is it harder?
It makes it kind of harder because I'm like,
right.
oh, there's so
Narrow
many.
it down then. Narrow it down.
What?
Narrow it down to Demon Slayer then.
Yeah.
I do like when all 4 of us meet for the first time. It's pretty ridiculous.
We actually, when that episode aired, we hadn't really met each other before. Right. We've only like ran into each other. So I knew Abby the most out of all of them. So I contacted her. I was like, hey, do you want to do a watch party? And she's like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, okay. And then I show up at her place with like Bryce and Zach, and we're like, hi, we're here to do the watch party. And you're like, oh, okay, let's have a watch party. Yeah, so I really enjoyed some of the earlier stuff when they first meet, which is why my big complaint is that we weren't in the last season all that much. I'm like, bring back the trio, bring back the quado. But thank you so much for your question.
For sure.
Thank you.
Does that mean that you guys didn't get a chance to record together much, or you didn't do it at all?
We don't really do that because there's a lot of technicalities with anime dubbing that prevents us from being in the same room together.
Yeah, you can only really dub one person at a time.
Right.
So we get to see.
A studio only has one microphone. They cannot afford 4. I'm kidding.
Budgetary. I got it.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. This is a personal question. What anime have you read or watched inspired you to live?
Inspired you to
live.
Wow.
Wow.
That's not personal. That's existential. That's okay.
Wow. So Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z were some of the first animes that I watched. And those were inspiring to me because of all of like training, you know, the insane training in shonen anime and manga, where they're just working and they're leveling up. I like adopted that mindset. I feel like it helped me, like it motivated me to be a hard worker.
That's a really good answer. I was like, when you said that, I visualized Goku looking at you. He was like, Abby, you have to live.
But also Naruto, because of the kind of redemption arcs in that show, like Gaara kind of starts off as not a great friend and then kind of like comes back around and like that is also really inspiring to me because it shows that like people can change, things can change, and to keep living, man.
Respect
keep living.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a niche one, but there's a show out there called Ping Pong the Animation, and it sounds silly. And it looks silly for the first couple of episodes, but it's about like growing up and finding your place in the world and like your passions. And sometimes even if you have the talent to pursue something, you know, balancing what's worth it and what's not. And I thought that show taught me some very valuable lessons. And I also really enjoyed Mob Psycho 100. That show was great. And a lot of the episodes were very emotional. And I was like, wow.
Ooh, one more. Sorry. What
was that? What was that?
I got one more. Does anybody know Flame of Recca? It's like an old shonen anime.
Your hand went up in the dark.
Bro, really? I can't see. That show, like just like the friendship dynamics, and I used to watch it like with my friend group at the time. That really was like a special show for me because of the friendship dynamics and the meaning of friendship, which I feel like a lot of anime really emphasizes.
I love that.
Yeah.
How would you answer that question?
My answer is when I forget his name, but when he it was in the entertainment arc and Zenitsu just fought for his friends, and not only for that, for basically the entire like district.
That's awesome.
Oh,
good answer. Good answer.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Very deep. Coming up here is like, what makes you want to live?
Right? Hello.
Hi. So what is your favorite arc of Demon Slayer and why?
Not the most recent one because I wasn't in it.
Oh man, I think I really like the entertainment district.
That is one of my favorites too.
I just like the whole dynamic between the two demon siblings, and then like, I don't know if you guys are, I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, but
Talk around it. There you go.
It's just like, it's so sad, you know? And the show does such a great job of making you feel empathy for demons even, you know? And it was such a powerful arc for me, that one.
I was just like, I like it because the boys get to some shenanigans, and I like seeing them have fun.
And the shenanigans.
Yeah, and the shenanigans. So thank you for your question.
Great one. Hello.
Hello. So what like heartfelt moment or like moment in the anime made you like really think? I mean, not think, but like join your character, like be them the most, like just relate to them.
Is there a moment in the anime that really kind of unlocked your understanding of your characters?
Yeah, when Nezuko kicks the demon's head off like a soccer ball. I understood her in that moment. I was like, I get you.
Kinship.
We're gonna be friends.
When Zenitsu says he doesn't want to take medicine because it's really bitter, I was like, I feel that, bro. No, I think there's in season 1 there's like an episode where again when he's up in the mountain fighting the spiders, and there's I think it's episode 17 where he's talking about how he tries really hard but sometimes he's not enough, and I feel like that was a moment where I'm like, wow, I really do relate to that, and it made me put into perspective, like, a lot of these animes, they don't really highlight the because it's always like the protagonist wants to do something and he just has the will to do it.
Right.
So to see somebody who's finally struggling to obtain that will, even though he wants to really hard to be strong and protect his friends, I was like, that's a very relatable human element that you don't see a lot, which is sometimes we're not as strong as we want to be, yet we still try. So I thought that moment was really cool to include in the anime for sure.
Nice.
So thank you for your
Great
question.
Yeah.
Thank you for answering.
Hello.
Hi. So this might not make sense, but
Explain it to us.
We'll try.
so there's sub and dub. Some animes just haven't been dubbed yet. They may never, unfortunately. If you could choose a character from anything that has been subbed or dubbed, I don't care who it is, who?
To
Does
be
that
Would we
make-
voice or?
Yeah, like
okay.
if it were to be.
Huh. That is a really good question. I have thought about this before. Like animes that haven't been dubbed yet.
Yeah.
Are there any out there that you'd want to be a part of?
Not that I. Hang on, let me think about it. You answer first.
Me, I've been very fortunate because all the shows that I have thought were like, oh, I really want this to get a dub, like Vinland Saga. I was like, oh, I really want this to get a dub, and then I was able to be lucky enough to play the protagonist when it came out, which was like a 3-year waiting process between the sub and dub. But other than that, there's a show that I haven't seen yet, but I heard it's really good. Because nowadays a lot of anime is dubbed. But there is one show, it's called Banana Fish, I think?
Yes. Oh, God.
And I was like, I hear it's really good, and if there was an opportunity, I love like dramatic stuff like that. If there was an opportunity, I'd love to be a part of something like that, something really cool and dramatic, yeah.
I can't think of one that hasn't been dubbed yet, but one that has been dubbed, Princess Mononoke.
Ooh.
I would love to voice San because she's a badass.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Okay. Have you seen One Piece?
I've seen some of it, not the end. I'm not all caught up. So don't
neither.
Unfortunately, I've only
Spoilers.
seen the One Piece live action.
All right. Who's your favorite Straw Hat?
Ooh, okay, I can answer that. I like the little furry guy, the Chopper. I just like him because he looks funny when he walks around. I'm like, I like that guy.
You took my answer. I love Chopper. Yeah, I don't know. I like Chopper.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna say Zoro.
What?
You don't like Zoro?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
That was a hard no, too.
yes, but not as much as Chopper.
Hello.
Have you read the manga? And if so, what's your opinion on the ending?
I have read the manga, and my opinion on the ending is that they ended it the moment we got the anime. So I was like, oh, I wish there was more. It keeps happening to me where I get to be a part of a really cool project, and I'm like, everyone's around me is like, oh, this is gonna be a big project that's gonna be around for a very long time. And the moment I join on, it's like, oh, by the way, the manga ended last week. And I was like, what? It happened to me when I got into Tokyo Revengers. I was like, oh my God, I'm so happy to be here. And they're like, manga ended next week. And then I did Mashal this year. And they're like, hey, by the way, manga ended next week. And I was
What's
like,
with your death touch?
I don't know. So like, if you want your manga to keep going, don't cast me in the anime.
Do not hear him. Do not listen to what he said.
I have not officially read the full. I'm up to volume 9, but I know it's been spoiled for me. I know what happens, but I
Nezuko
can't.
becomes a contractor. She builds a
I'm
big
reserved-
house.
I'm gonna reserve judgment until I've officially read every volume. So
Smart move. Smart move.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do not spoil.
Hello.
He's back. He's gonna spoil it.
Who is stronger, Saitama or Yoriichi?
Saitama from One Punch Man?
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like that character was written to destroy other characters. So I feel like Saitama would probably be the stronger one.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. That's his thing, right?
Yeah.
Literally.
The one punch.
In Bleach, what Bankai would you have?
Oh, okay.
What is it in Bleach?
In Bleach, what Bankai would you have?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I play the character Shinji in Thousand Year Blood War, and his Bankai is really cool, but he can only use it when there's like no allies around, because if he uses it while there's like his friends are gonna die too.
Yeah.
So not that one. Anything that would put me on the cover of Bleach. So anything Ichigo has. There.
Consider it like a special move, if you will.
Exactly.
Special move. I watched Bleach like way many years ago, and I'm not caught up on the recent stuff. So I'm
What
like,
is your
I don't
favorite?
remember.
Captain Yamamoto's.
What's that?
Captain Yamamoto's.
What does he do? What is it? What does he do?
He does a really cool move, right?
Yeah.
And then
You gotta read it. You gotta find
You gotta read it to find out, right? Only me and him know.
Next
That's
time
right.
I'll have an answer.
You gotta join the club.
No spoilers. No spoilers. Hello.
I am back.
Welcome back.
Again. I have another question. If you were a My Hero Academia character, what would your quirk be and why?
Like anything?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can make up.
Yes.
Oh.
Infinite money quirk.
No, you
not bad.
can't do
It's not
that.
bad.
The money wouldn't even work anyways.
My quirk is I can do anything quirk. Like all of the superpowers.
That's even more of a cheat.
Girl, basically.
I could fly, I could shoot lasers, I could do anything.
Dang it.
That's my quirk.
All right.
My quirk would be to build a house in California.
I would like to tell you what I have done to my Tanjiro.
You would like to do what?
I have turned him into a marketable plushie because he kept on carrying me in the box, and he know what he did.
Wow.
It's very painful. Very many concussions.
Versed it on you.
Yeah.
And also, can I give this to you?
Nezuko's revenge, everyone.
Yeah, she'll be at the table afterwards.
At the booth.
Dang it.
There you go. Excellent.
Also, one more
Hello. Wait, we got like a few more people. We only got a few minutes left. Can we get the other
I
people?
want to tell you one thing. I have watched the anime probably more than 100 times over on loop.
Wow.
That's impressive.
Pretty good. That's pretty good.
I really like anime.
That's maybe
My
a
Hero
world
Academia
record.
and more or less Demon Slayer because I heard it was really good. And I have watched a lot of it, and I binge watched it, and binge watched it over and over and over.
Thank you for your support.
Thanks for being a fan.
Yeah.
All
Thank
right.
you.
And
With the
a
bow out.
and a
That was
bow.
excellent
A
right there.
flourish.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. First off, Flame Eureka. Love it.
Absolutely.
What was that?
You said you watched Flame Eureka?
Yes. Oh, you're the Flame of Recca
Yes,
fan.
yes.
The one in the room. Nice
The
to
only
meet
one that raised their hand up.
In the dark. They've
I
made
can
up
hear
here.
the theme music playing in my head. Oh, such a good show.
So my question is, have you ever received a booth bomb or left a booth bomb?
A booth.
Oh, like a blooper take, something like that.
Yes and yes, and I'm like, I can't think of any examples.
I'm usually the last one to record in the show, so I get to hear everybody. Everybody's like, Bryce loves to like just make fart noises whenever like Inosuke comes in, and he's like, I'm like, thanks, Bryce.
What would you do if you could leave anyone then?
If I could do anything,
Oh, I would have done that.
I would have like, for when Zach does his emotional scenes when he's crying, I would have like asked to go in there, and when his cue comes up, I would scream, "Ah!" into his ear. That's what I would have.
I just thought of one that I left for Keiji when we were dubbing. Has anyone seen Gamera Rebirth? It's the new Gamera anime that's out.
We got to get on that.
Yeah, it's like. It's kind of a CG animated anime, but the kaiju look really cool.
Oh, wow.
They look awesome. And I'm a huge Gamera fan now. Because of this anime, I was like, what's Gamera? And I watched all of the movies, and I bought a statue when I was in Japan, and I went down a rabbit hole. Anyway,
Nothing wrong with that.
Keiji had like this huge monologue as his character, and I just like dubbed over it in like a really annoying voice, and he had to listen to it. And so they played it back for him. I can't remember what the monologue was though, but that was a thing that I left for him.
That's a fun question. Thank you so
time.
much.
I like it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Listen, we're under 5 minutes, so if we don't
do a
get
speed
to your
round, yeah.
question, and we're going to try our best to do so, but if we don't, you get first dibs to line up here for the selfie that we're going to do. So we're going to try to get through everyone as quickly as we can. Go.
Hi. So I'm just wondering, what's your favorite Inosuke moments in the show?
Wow.
One of my favorites is when he's got the swords and he's just ruining them. Like he's and they're like, "What are you doing?"
I like at the end of the rotating mansion arc where Tanjiro and like the kids are talking after he saved them from the mansion, and in the background, Inosuke is just like headbutting a tree. And they never elaborate on that. He's just there doing that. I'm like, I like that. I like that a lot.
Part of his training.
Do you have a favorite moment?
Anytime he mispronounces Tanjiro's name.
That's a good one.
Tanjiro Kamaboko.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi. I was just wondering, who was your first fictional crush?
First fictional crush. This is
Fictional
my first.
Deep cut.
Yeah.
Deep cut.
Y'all know Disney's Robin Hood?
Let's go. Let's go.
Wow.
Yeah.
I literally cannot remember. I don't know. I was like 7 years old and I saw a fashion magazine and I saw this woman in a dress and I was like, wow, she's so pretty.
All right. That's what's up.
I guess that's it. I can't remember an actual character, but I don't know.
I know
Mrs.
one of them is
Incredible from The Incredibles.
That's not bad. Mrs. Incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for your question.
One of mine was Mujiro, just saying.
I mean, it happens. Mine was Jim from Jim and the Hologram. So, classic.
That's a good one.
All right.
All right, voice acting these characters. Do you guys like wish that you could have voice acted a little more, like how Zenitsu wasn't in the last season, or just?
Oh no, I'm all good. I was like, I need a year off, anyways. Too much screaming. I'm like vocal rest year, so.
There you go.
It's hard to say because like I think I'm gonna say no because for the story it makes the most sense for, like that's the story. So I don't want to change that, which if I were to talk more, it would kind of like change the whole
She's just
thing.
saying that because she doesn't want to write paragraphs on Funko Pops.
It's fair. It's fair.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Good. So my question was, if you went into the anime, who would you think you would vibe with the most?
What was the first
If
part?
you lived in the anime, who would you vibe with?
If we lived in Demon Slayer,
Yeah.
who would we vibe with?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like everyone's got to get along with Mitsuri because she's
That's
I love
true.
Hashira. She's
Yeah.
so outgoing, and yeah, Mitsuri maybe.
I was gonna say Giyu because I feel like we would say hi to each other once a week. It's like, hey, dude, hey, and sometimes we would like eat next to each other in silence, and then that's it.
Quality time, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good. That's pretty good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
question.
you.
Last question. No pressure.
Grr.
Okay, so yes. So my question is, I have two questions. One is following the other. It's just, have you ever read Johnny the Homicidal Maniac?
Yes.
Well, who would win the fight, Johnny or Tanjiro? I think it would be a tie, in my opinion.
I think Tanjiro would win because
Ooh.
he is pretty powerful with a sword, and Johnny is Johnny.
Weak. He's very skinny, so
He's very skinny.
No body shaming. Come on. I felt that way.
That's true.
That's right. That's
You
right.
can still be powerful and skinny.
Are you a fan of Yonan Vasquez's work?
I have no idea what that. When you said Johnny, I was thinking Johnny Bravo standing there. I'm like, Johnny Bravo versus Tanjiro. That's a tough one.
I would watch that.
Different Johnny.
Yeah.
A little
It'd be a
different.
very short show, but I would watch that one.
Hey, Tanjiro.
Oh my God, that's amazing. GalaxyCon, make some noise one time for me. Aleks, Abby, thank you so very much for joining us.